what do you guys think ideas are? Because I've
Whoa,
been
hang on a minute. I'm not. Could I get a little deeper on that one?
okay. So like,
What's an idea, man?
no, seriously, like, I don't know. When you get an idea, like, I feel like
Hmm.
for what we do, like being
As in like
as in
creatives.
creatives,
Okay.
we think. Like, you have to think, or you're not gonna be able to make anything. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, you have to problem solve and come up with ideas and kind of be okay. Here it is. So like, my perspective is that we're simply antennas for ideas. We're receptors for a thought, for an idea that's simply passing through the universe. And we can either grab onto that thing, that thought or that idea, and like
Hmm.
do something with it, or just let it float right on by.
I love that. I think
I,
I think that's so beautiful.
it's a
Like,
very nice, like, spiritual way of kind of thinking of
yeah.
ideas for sure. Yeah. I
Thanks,
definitely
guys.
like personally. I don't know. I like. I kind of am a much more like literal kind of person. So I mean, like, when I think of an idea, like, I think everyone's brains has like the potential to come up with like something that is super meaningful to someone.
Mhm.
Um, but I think the deeper thing is that you need like different people will need different stimulus in order for that idea to come out or to be flushed out of that individual, right? So like just like an example of me and you with Eternally, the short film we did, it's like certain things had to happen. We had to see certain pieces of media. We had to be influenced by certain people and hear the right things in order for us to both go, aha, we're making this like short film, you know?
True, but I don't think that that's where the idea originates. I think that's all the stuff you do to make that idea something tangible that another human being can experience or understand. But I don't think that any of that stuff is actually what generates the idea. I think the idea comes from this, I don't even know, man. It's like this energy source for thought. Like, I don't know. I have thoughts that I'm like, okay, I didn't consciously think of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
if you're in a flow state and you're just like completely present and going with the flow, I guess, so to speak, um, those thoughts are not in your control at all in
No,
some ways.
I kind of cuz I see what you mean there, Jesse, cuz like I like to think of myself as a literal person. Like I think I'm pretty spiritual, but I like science and I like things to be proven. um but it's interesting cuz like the other night, for example, and I'm not going to go too much into it. Um but the other night, for example, I woke up at like 2:33 in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep until 8:30 because I was kind of, when you're in that like half dream, half awake stage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like
Um
you're what there's a word for it.
the REM state, right?
Yeah, REM state or REM sleep or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So like that's apparently when most of your dreams kind of happen. And during this state I was having really weird vivid dreams that I'm sure a lot of people have, but they were really scary and really like things that I don't think that I've seen in my like wake in my like day-to-day life. Um so it's interesting that you say that, Jesse, because like the things that I was like seeing in my dream and the things that I was like thinking about were almost out of my control
Yeah.
because I was trying to like change my dream because they were things that like kind of creeped me out and like were scary. Which is why I laid awake. But um they were like images or like things that I don't think that I've seen before, and
Wow.
like they were like ideas that I didn't like. I've never really. I
You
don't think
wouldn't
that I've seen anything that's would connect it, if that makes sense.
like you wouldn't have like considered it in if you were actually conscious, kind of.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like
It
I
wouldn't have even
like
crossed your mind.
exactly. Like like I mean, there was just it was just like weird stuff. Like a part of the dream was like I'll tell you like just the one little part of it um that was just super weird was like this guy was teaching this girl how to play a song on electric guitar. But both of those people I've never seen before in my life. And like just their personas, I don't recognize them and whatever. Um and it was just that whole concept. It's just like I don't know where that came from because like during the day like my days are pretty basic. Like I don't really get anything in that sense, but it was just wild because whatever continued to follow it are just things that I've never thought of or I've never seen or like nothing that I can consciously think that would have influenced those thoughts
Hmm.
in my REM state. So I don't know if it would be like
See,
that concept you're saying, Jesse.
like I still like I really like it as a thought, but like I still don't know if I could necessarily get behind it
Mm-hmm.
completely for just for me personally, that's all. I'm like
Yeah.
I just I feel like the mind has so much potential. Um and like I feel that you can genuinely come up with a lot of stuff just like quote unquote on your own, and you're not even really fully aware of it. I think a lot of people have more really good ideas than they think of. Um like all people, kids, like anyone I think is constantly having like a really really good idea, but it just doesn't see the light of day because of how your experiences are laid out and what
Mm-hmm.
might be like holding you back from like expressing that, I don't know, or expressing that thought.
Yeah.
That's just how at least I like to see it.
No, that's
Interesting.
kind of
I
that is an interesting point.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like the idea that everyone's on this. I don't know. I don't want to harp on that too much, but basically, like the trip I experienced was kind of that thing. Like it was a complete removal of my own self from the vehicle I'm driving of my body. If that
Can
makes any
I
sense.
Yeah, can I try and like maybe break it down and see if like I'm understanding it correctly here? Like you felt like you weren't really having any of your own ideas, and that ideas were just latching on to you as like you were thinking about it as it, and it would just like pass through you and it would either stick or it wouldn't, kind of thing.
No, that idea is what I feel like on a day-to-day basis. Like I
Oh,
I
okay.
I think that ideas are an energy source much like the wind, let's say. Like
Hmm.
I think that thought and ideas can be tapped into by anyone, and it's the reason why, like, I mean, you've experienced this, Brandon, like seeing having a thought for an idea, or sorry, an idea for like a project, let's say,
Hmm.
and then a month later you see someone did that exact same thing or something damn similar to it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And in my eyes, they tapped into that same wavelength.
Okay, so I see what you mean, because my perspective would be that there were similar experiences that those people had that potentially led to them coming up with that same idea. But I see what you're getting at. Honestly, like they're very kind of similar takes in a way, but like still like super different, you know?